happy when I get a better job, when I get a promotion, when I hit my numbers. If happiness is on the other side of the goalpost and the goalpost keeps moving, we've pushed happiness beyond the cognitive horizon. Okay. And this is a breakthrough study from Sean Aker about happiness. This is probably in the top 5 most famous TED Talks in history. It was a $5 million study where these psych majors decided to study happiness rather than depression, and they made some astonishing discoveries. If happiness is on the opposite side of success, your brain never gets there. What we've done is pushed happiness over the cognitive horizon as a society. And that's because we think we have to be successful, then we'll be happier. The real problem, and this is science, our brain works just the other way, exactly the other way. In fact, what we found is that every single business outcome improves when you're happy. Your brain at positive is 31% more productive than when it's negative, neutral, or stressed. And if you're in sales, if you have a side gig, or you're in networking or direct sales or affiliate marketing, happier people are 37% better at sales in 2/3 of the time. Doctors are 19% faster and 17% more accurate in their initial diagnosis, which means if we can reverse the formula, if we can find a way of becoming positive in the present, happy, then our brains work even more successfully as we're able to work harder, faster, more intelligently, in far less time. The master key results reverse that formula, okay? These are facts, not theory. This is what the surveys have shown us from our members. You can see it there, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, the percentage of people that are happier that go through this course. Since 2013, 94% are happier, more effective, more creative in 2/3 of the time, okay? Lori King was down in the dumps. She had surgery. She was going through that time of life. She was really down and out. She took the course, and the successes just keep on coming. She wrote a book helping others come back. This is after that menopausal period. And she just released her second bestseller, and her book ended up in the top 29 most powerful, empowering books for women, okay? Marlo Anderson was a dancer. And it really wasn't her bliss. She took the course. She found her heart's desire. Now she's a coveted speaker, banging out huge bucks just to go out and speak for an hour or two. And this is a #1 bestseller for her, okay? And this is all ages, all professions, not just authors. Julie Hoffman has done over 100 million in sales. And I want to say something about these successes. We make no claims about what will happen to you financially, but use a little common sense here. Most people think they're going to get better at what they do and make more money, and then they'll be happier and more effective in their personal relationships. It works just the opposite, okay? Whether you're a network or affiliate marketer, coaches, course creators, salespeople, daycare centers have been opened, NPO work, geeks like Mike B, who's gone on to make multiple 7 figures, and the ages that have been through this course from 18 to 80, 15 years, wifey tells me it's over 4,000 people, over 48,000 blog posts. We're developing success by developing happiness first, which gives you fulfillment. This is important. Why does this work when people are happy? Because happiness triggers faster learning. Everybody knows about endorphins. They get released and I feel happier. But what people don't know about endorphins is when your endorphins are released, when you're happy, the learning centers fly open. This is why it appears that children are learning faster. Our work improves dramatically. 17% doctors are more accurate on their initial diagnosis. 37%, like I said, in sales. 37% better in 2/3 of the time. Creativity explodes, right? Think about kids. This is all areas of life, relationships, health, and business. And your creativity explodes. Let me just give you a couple of examples here. This is Gabby. I'm grateful for the course and definitely happier. Okay, that was in 23. Look at Denise. This is amazing. Okay, I'm feeling happier than ever. Okay, Paul Flint from the United Kingdom. The whole thing has been a ride of happiness, and the turning point was discovering who I truly am and my true purpose. That's why we're unhappy. We're working somebody else's goals. It's been forced since 2020 from Norway. Like I said, it's all over the world. Okay. The happiness I feel is incredible. I love the fact because I focus on kindness. That was a transformational week. It's changed my life in the last 2 weeks. Okay. In 19, Ruth, I'm truly happier. I feel joy, and it shows in my behavior and my results. Alejandro, who came to visit us here in Kauai in 2018. No kidding. Sometimes I feel like I'm going mental, feeling uncontrollably happy. Is this something that would make you smile, Alexandra? I think so. Okay. And my good friend from Italy, Anna, I feel happy most of the time. We're not talking about, you know, being happy 24/7, 52. We're not talking about that. Just talking a general feeling of fulfillment and happiness. Happiness means this is so perfect. Happiness for me means being Anna 100% instead of what I've been conditioned. Just the idea gives me a feeling of happiness by learning how to use the brain. Here's Lori King again. She took this course in 16, so, and still is using it, pushing through, experiencing more joy, enthusiasm, love, and kindness. 15 in Belgium. I feel happiness and ease in my everyday life. We could show you over 4,000 of these. I'm inspired and grateful. Good friend of mine, Leanne Hack. I am happy, more aligned with what I want, and more importantly, who I am. You just don't know that you've been conditioned. And this is my favorite story, Anthony Carr. He couldn't put two sentences together. They thought he was like incredibly below average intelligence. Good things are all around me. I feel the light and joy in my heart. From failing to put a sentence together to magna cum laude, 2 master's degrees, and he's dedicated his life to helping wounded vets. How's that? So we have everything here from networkers to writers. And I love this because it is contagious. Not only feel great, but I'm enjoying the fact that it's contagious. Okay. It's contagious. And we agree when you're around happy people, it just catches you. What happened? The class of 23 was our best year ever because we keep getting better too. 98+% are happier and more effective because they gave themselves permission to be happy and they engaged in the 6-month course. Okay. The byproducts of happiness are faster learning, more effective work. And I go back to Santa Maria Piccolo. That was my mother. Okay. Even though I have a Polish last name, my dad died when I was 3. I was raised by 5 insane Sicilians. Okay. Screaming Sicilians. It was awesome. She said, why are you waiting and what are you waiting for? And that's my question to you. Why are you waiting and what are you waiting for? The proof is in the printout. Okay. There's nothing like this movement. It really gets to become a life-defining choice as we go through this together. You have 2 choices. Give yourself permission and can you mute everybody, Lori, and live the master key experience progression, or theorize, doubt the proof, and don't live the progression. I hope your decision is aloha. Aloha means spirit, or spirit or God, and ha means breath. So as we go through this, I hope that the spirit, the breath of the divine is on you and you're guided to do the right thing for yourself. Okay, that's what's important to me. Keep asking yourself as you make this decision to join us for 6 months, what would the person I intend to become do next? What would the person I intend to become do next? Again, we're not talking fa la 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 la, okay? We're not talking 24/7, just happier overall. The learning centers fly open, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. Members experience permanent and equally high numbers in fulfillment, confidence, courage, and most importantly, finding their authentic purpose. So over the next 6 months, you can expect us to help you learn how to draw that greatness out of you and to meet the most kindred, marvelous spirit, which is yourself. Expect to have your belief systems challenged. They will be challenged, and it'll be uncomfortable, and it is hard mental labor. But why live somebody else's life, which is what we've been conditioned? How are your beliefs working for you? Here's a tough question. How are your beliefs working for you in regard to happiness, fulfillment, health, wealth, intimacy, contribution, and spiritual life? Okay, that's the question you have to ask. Don't question us. I mean, it's fine to ask us questions, I don't mean it arrogantly, but we're giving you science and ancient wisdom, and the science validates ancient wisdom. Expect support with keeping you on track daily, to be challenged with being in a real course. You're going to go into cultural shock the first 3 or 4 weeks. You're going to think, wow, this is so hard. But that's because we're trained sheep and we're addicted to instant gratification. The shortcut in life is working on the right things. That's it. It's work. It's work. To grow, expect to grow and flourish, because the ripple effect will blow you away. If you're not sure you have the time, which is going to take about a week of your life out of the next 6 months, about 40 minutes to an hour a day, look at Dawn Anderson. She was a single mother of 8 kids, 8. And she had resistance within. She was failing. She went from failing in network marketing to the top 1% in the world in 6 months. And then that company a year later closed. Did she lose anything? Nope. She opened another business, a brick and mortar business. It's incredibly successful, and she's moved from Minnesota to living on the ocean, which she always wanted to do. She's living her bliss and now owns 2 rental properties. She's succeeding. These are not remarkable or isolated or best student stories. It happens to hundreds of people every year. They find and follow their bliss. What's remarkable about these people? Just like you, the greatness was always there. What did they do to find it? They applied for a scholarship. They paid the dollar and applied for a scholarship. They made a daily commitment, and most importantly, they honored the commitment. That's what they did. Because it's not about committing to us or the Master Key or Mark or my beautiful wife, the fabulous Davine. It's about you making a commitment to yourself. So I'm going to get it out of the way right away. I am trying to enroll you today. Okay? But I'm trying to get you to enroll yourself in your life. Keep asking yourself that question. How's it working for you? Are you like me? I think most people are. What are most people thinking? I know I could do better. I know there's great potential. I know I could do better. How come everybody else is doing better than me? Okay. I mean, I was trying to figure out how to make a wheel while everybody else was driving Corvettes and Mercedes, It's like, what's wrong with me? I can't even get a wheel together. So grab a spot. Okay. A class begins in a couple of weeks. When the 406 is gone, it's gone. So you want to make sure you do this. The reason we limit it to 406 is we will not compromise the one-on-one support that we're famous for. Me for 60 seconds, in case you don't know me at all. 3-time best-selling author, standing tall is now in 3 languages, second printing. I wrote a book with Lori, The 7 Laws of the Mind. I created Box Score Bingo, which is was in national publications. Business stuff, blah, blah, blah. Top producer combined, Mutual New York. Multiple 7-figure earner in home-based businesses, sold out seminars, and all that wonderful stuff, made a ton of money, and living the dream here in Kauai since 2010. Should you care about all that? I don't think so. I don't think you should care about it at all. What you should care about is how it happened. How did I go from delivering a seafood out of the back of a van and bankruptcy to all those things? It was the Master Key experience, okay? So had struggles. I was a big dreamer, frustrated, disappointment, discouragement, occasionally feeling moments of despair, and I did what everybody else did. I filled my life with a lot of nonsense. Reruns on TV, 18 things on my checklist every day, so I didn't have to think about my life that wasn't happening. If there are no common people, if there's greatness in me, why was it not happening for me? And then it was a major discovery for me. It was a NASA study that began in the 1960s. This is going to blow you away. They commissioned a study to find creative geniuses. It turned out that 98% of 5-year-olds tested out as creative geniuses, okay? They followed those people for 25 years and retested them, and at that point, only 2% were ranked as creative geniuses. Your genius has been locked up by the system. Just the way it is. They don't want critical thinking. If you don't think you've been conditioned, guess what? You've been perfectly conditioned, okay? The machine, since the beginning of time, has used fear and demoralization to control the masses. It's relentless quest of power, okay? It's to scare them and demoralize them. Parents, your parents did their best, but they were byproducts of the same system, okay? The same hidden agendas, other people's ideas for how their life should be lived. You can be anything you want to be. You go to school, you can be anything you want to be, but you better follow the rules like everybody else, or you're going to get kicked out of school and you live in a box under a bridge. But you can be anything you want to be, right? So what are they doing? They're rewarding what? Compliance and crushing individuality. NASA discovered why this happened. There's two kinds of thinking: divergent, which is taking ideas and creating new possibilities off them, and then convergent, which is evaluating and decision making. Okay. The blockade to discovery and creativity is conditioning. We either create our reality or we copy others. Conditioning begins early. The schools reward convergent and punish divergent. When we look inside the brain, this isn't from me, this is from NASA. When we look inside the brain, we find neurons are fighting with each other and actually diminishing the power of the brain because we're constantly judging, criticizing, censoring, and most importantly, drowning in self-consciousness, comparing ourselves to others. The real problem, NASA discovered, is convergent overrides divergent and creativity gets diminished. Here's their chart. You can see 5-year-olds, 98% creative genius. Same people at 31, 2%. Let's go get that creative genius. There are undreamed possibilities in the common lives all around us, and in a large sense, there are no common people, okay? I want you to think about this, okay, Alexandra? I want you to think about this, Tina. Remember her? Where the world was full of possibilities and enthusiasm. Nothing's changed but us. We've changed. All that stuff is still there. So what happened to the creative conditioning? Science now validates what the ancient illuminated ones knew. This creates the 5 blocks to achievement and blocks you from finding your heart's desire. And there you see the little illustration of the machine just pouring in ideas about how it should be. If you do the work, and by the way, like I said earlier, the work is the shortcut, and I caught a sort of a little kind of acknowledgement from Jerry. He gets it, right? You know, you're not going to point and click your way to a happy life. Okay. Okay. The Master Key Experience gives you the tools, one-on-one live support, breaks the 5 blocks, which I'm going to go over, if and only if you do the work. You got to do the work. Block number 1 is believing you have control over your decisions. Wow, that was a mind blower for me. So let's just do a couple of minutes of science here.
The conscious mind is a creative mind. The subconscious mind is a programmed mind, a habit mind. I'd like to discuss the nature about how our life has been programmed and how these programs control our life, our vitality, and our behavior in the world. Recognize this. If you buy a new computer and you turn it on, the built-in operating system prepares it to work. But if there are no programs in that computer, then the computer can't really do anything. Well, let's now relate this to a child. When the brain develops, it's got an operating system, but there are no programs in it. So nature created the first 7 years of our lives to download behaviors by observing our parents, our siblings, and our community. And in this way, a child can learn all the behavioral characteristics necessary to be a functional member of a family and a functional member of a community. Well, however, since we are downloading the programs by observing other people, what happens if we download programs from our parents or our family or siblings that are not very positive programs, that are actually very negative programs that have an adverse effect on our health? Well, it turns out science has revealed that during the first 7 years of our life, our brain is designed to download programs just by observing other people. It's a state of hypnosis, which is a characteristic of a brain frequency called theta, which is just below consciousness. The first 7 years of a child's life is installing the programs that when consciousness kicks in at around age 7, consciousness has use of programs to create the behavior in their relationships, in their family, community, etc. We now know about 70% of those programs that we download from others are negative and disempowering and even self-sabotaging. And as we go through our life, you say, well, where are these programs? I say, well, they're in the subconscious mind. And then you say, well, what's the other mind? I say, the conscious mind, that's the one that kicks in at age 7. That mind is connected to your personal identity, your spirituality. And the difference between the two is profound. The conscious mind is a creative mind. The subconscious mind is a programmed mind, a habit mind. So I say, why is it relevant? I say, well, if you're running from the conscious mind, then you're creating your life from wishes and desires and aspirations. However, if your life is under the control of the subconscious mind, it's just going to play back the programs that you downloaded from other people. Well, since other people didn't plan your wishes and your desires, the download you get may not even allow you to get into the life that you really wish for. So here comes the important issue. Are we running our lives with a conscious mind, or are we running our lives with the subconscious programs? Well, it turns out science has revealed that only 5% of the day are we operating our nervous system using the conscious mind's creative wishes and desires. 95% of the day, our life is coming straight out of the programs in our subconscious. The reason why this is happening is that when conscious mind is controlling our biology, it's sort of like a driver holding the wheel, taking us into the direction we want to go, our wishes and desires. However, when we are thinking, conscious mind has to let go of the wheel and go inside the brain. Why? Thought is an inside job. It's not outside. So what happens when consciousness is thinking? It's not driving the vehicle. I said, well, then what happens to the vehicle, our body, when consciousness is thinking? I go, subconscious is autopilot. So the moment we start thinking, biology is taken over by the programs that we acquired in the subconscious. Now here comes the problem. 95% of the day we're operating from these programs, and the vast majority of them are disempowering and self-sabotaging downloads. So we're not leading a life that takes us towards wishes and desires. We're leading a life that manifests the issues that we downloaded from other people, mostly negative. And therefore, we struggle through life. And I say, well, why is there a struggle? I said, because you're not operating from wishes and desires any longer. You're operating from the habits you got from other people. So this becomes a very profound issue, because it says then the life that we're leading has already been controlled by the downloaded programs. This is not a new idea. For 400 years, the Jesuits have told their followers, give me a child until age 7 and I will show you the man. What they were saying, the conscious mind.
And there it is. And this is just how it is, right? You know, it's a great book by Vince Pisconi called The Ant and the Elephant, where he equates the subconscious mind to an elephant and the conscious mind to an ant. And actually, that is proportionately correct. So you think, so you're the conscious mind thinks, you know, I want to be a successful, whatever it happens to be. In other words, just think of an ant wakes up one day on an elephant's back and says, I'm going to go south. But that elephant is what? Walking north. Okay. And this is actual fact. It's actual science. And when you add those programs we downloaded, plus the conditioning of the schools, and a lot of the programs that were downloaded into us were downloaded from people who were subjected to that same kind of machine that was about fear, right? And control and demoralization, and us comparing ourselves to other people, that convergent thinking. Oh, Jerry got an A on the test. He must be smart. Stephanie only got a C. There's something wrong with her, right? So she starts to feel self-conscious. And kids before age 5, they're not self-conscious. They're curious. But we operate, we don't want to make mistakes. Block number 2 is believing persistence and massive action speeches. What a crock of bullshit. Okay, that is. You're going to set goals and take massive action, right? Okay, so here's how it works. This is known as the blueprint. You have a thought. When it's charged with feeling, which is emotionalized, this creates our belief. This is the blueprint. That's what dictates our actions. Most people mistakenly believe that results are effects and action is cause. That is false. Both action and results are effects of the internal blueprint, right? Because you decide to set some goals today, Tina, and you're going to take massive action, but you're the same person, which is why it only lasts 3 or 4 days. And then you find yourself procrastinating again or making excuses. And then you're into self-loathing. And then you pick yourself up. And now I'm really going to do it. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. That's certainly my story. What the Master Key Experience does is it focuses on the correct box, not the action box, which is dictated by the blueprint. There's the blueprint right there, and we're going to change it. No, you're going to change it by doing the work in the course. This, by focusing on the correct box, the thought box, and learning how to choose your feelings around those new thoughts. This creates new beliefs, which dictates different actions, and obviously the results are going to be different. In essence, we are to the extent that we do what we believe what we think, therefore we are what we think. Massive action doesn't change anything. And all that motivational crap, you might think it's good. All those quotes you see going by on Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff, they don't change anything. They just demoralize you. So stop looking at them. All you need is within you, and I'll prove it to you. In other words, until the blueprint changes, nothing changes, because listen to me, you do not determine your life. Your habits do. So you don't change the thought habits, nothing really changes permanently. Block number 3 is procrastination. There's steps to doing what you have to do. You're going to do your taxes in February, but you wait till April. You get all stressed out. You fight with your husband or wife. You're looking through shoe boxes and wallets and things online. Steps towards the big dream, sales calls, follow up, executing a plan, procrastinating, even skipping. Why do we do this? Okay. Well, an fMRI is just like an MRI, except it's on the brain instead of your shoulder or your hip or whatever. Okay. It's functional neuroimaging procedure. So in solving the procrastination puzzle, Dr. Pitchell discovered something remarkable. All we're doing is giving our problems to our future self. Now, why do we do this? Why do we do this? Well, this is going to shock you. They ask people to think about 3 things. First, they ask them to think about their present self, and 2 particular parts of the brain lit up. And then they asked them to think about they showed them pictures of total strangers, and a different parts of their brain lit up. Then they asked them to think about their future self. Guess which part of the brain's lit up? If you guess total stranger, you got it right. We see ourselves as a total stranger. So, Jerry, when you procrastinate, you're dumping problems on a total stranger. You don't care. One of the most important and favorite parts of the session is they use our proprietary methods to develop an intimate relationship with your future self, and that's what ends procrastination. Not all the crap you see online, not just do it, just do it. That's, just do it. And of course, you do it for a day or 2, and then you're back to the same thing. And there's a reason for that. Okay. And there's a reason that we do this. Okay. And this is conditioning before age 7. That's block number 4. And so we'll watch this little short thing that proves that the ancients knew what NASA discovered. Okay.
Many years ago in Thailand, there was a temple that was called the Temple of the Golden Buddha. And there was a huge statue of the Golden Buddha. And word came to this village where the monastery was that an army from a neighboring country was about to invade. And they got the brilliant scheme to cover the Golden Buddha, which is quite large, with mud and concrete so that it looked basically like a stone Buddha, and the army would perceive no value in it. Sure enough, this army rolled in with its caissons and weapons. And as they passed by the monastery, they saw nothing but a big stone Buddha, and they had no reason to plunder it. Well, years went by because the army continued to occupy it until there was a time in the monastery in the village when no one remembered that the Buddha was golden, until one day a young monk was sitting on the Buddha meditating on his knee. And as he got up, a little piece of concrete happened to crack off and he saw something shiny. He realized it was gold under there. And so he ran to his fellow monks and said, the Buddha's golden, the Buddha's golden. They all came out and they realized he was telling the truth. And they took their picks and hammers. And eventually they unearthed the golden Buddha. Now, what's the metaphor here? The metaphor is that each of us is golden by nature. We were born golden. We were born high. We were born knowing. We were born connected to our bliss. We were born knowing truth. We were born knowing everything every great spiritual master has ever said. We were one with the Christ, the Buddha, everyone. But then we went to school and they said you had to dress like this. And this is what boys do. And this is what girls do. This is what black people do. This is what white people do. On and on and on. And so we developed a casing of stone over the Buddha to a point where at a young age, maybe 4, 5, 6, or 7, we believed that we were the stone Buddha, not the golden one. And then something comes along that cracks our casing. Maybe it's an injury, a divorce, a financial setbacks, a governmental change, something that really scares us and bugs us and knocks off a piece of our armor. And only in that moment of the armor being knocked off do you get to look inside and see the gold. And let me tell you, friend, that the moment you see that gold, the armor and the concrete will never satisfy you again. At that point, you truly enter the true hero's adventure. And all you want to do for the rest of your life is pick away the stone because the gold is so much more fun.
Now, if you tie that, this is really amazing what the ancients knew. If you tie this to NASA's study and what I've talked about with conditioning and what you saw in the science about the subconscious mind and the downloaded programs, we're talking about resurrecting this creative genius in you. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I can give you 50 quotes that you're a genius. I'm just going to give you a few. Einstein said everyone's a genius. Hanel who wrote the Master Key System, which our course is based on that. You know, he said, when purpose is injected with love, genius is born. Hill wrote that when you enter into a true mastermind alliance and get that additional mind in there, it raises everybody's game and the connection is made this way rather than this way internally, and genius is born. The fifth block is why all this stuff happens. Why the conditioning that you've had kicks in, even though you know things aren't right, even though you know you could do better, even though you're discouraged, but pull yourself up, why you keep slipping back. It's called peptide addiction. Now, this is not some theory. This is a Nobel Prize winning discovery, and it has changed the world of successful, by their patient standards, psychologists and psychiatrists. We're all addicted to peptides. This is why resolutions don't work. It's actually a chemical addiction. Every feeling you have in the hypothalamus, which is a little factory deep in the brain, it releases a corresponding neuropeptide for every single feeling that you have. Each neuropeptide is different than the ones for anger, are different than the ones for sadness, and so forth. And it releases millions and millions of these. Okay. Now, on every cell in your body, there's receptors for these peptides. And so when you're angry, or let's say you're worried, okay, these peptides are released, and they latch on to the cell. There's docking mechanisms on the cell for these peptides, and they get addicted to these peptides. And when you say, I'm not going to procrastinate anymore, and you start doing the work and everything like that, and then in the past, when you felt procrastination and it's in your way, you get, let's say, really, you get into a self-loathing state, we'll say, okay? That's the feeling you have of self-loathing. So now you go 3 or 4 days, Jerry, without feeling that self-loathing, and your cells are saying, feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me. So you will unconsciously do things to generate those peptides so it gets its chemical addiction fed. This is a Nobel Prize breakthrough thing, and it's going to send messages to the brain. We unconsciously repeat behaviors to feed the addiction for disappointment, self-loathing, worry, anger, resentment, whatever it happens to be. For 15 years, our members have learned how to create new neuropeptides and get addicted to joy and achievement and happiness and contentment and fulfillment. And now this body's going to do the same thing. Feed me, feed me, feed me. And Jerry, you will unconsciously start doing things to generate the behaviors so that those peptides that the cells now are screaming for happiness and joy and contentment and fulfillment, and you'll start doing the right thing more often. This makes us different than everybody else on the planet. Okay. This is, like I said, this is not remarkable or isolated stories or our best students ever. It happens to hundreds of people every year. They find their bliss and they follow it because they've broken the peptide addiction. There's a solution to the blocks. It's not point and click. It's not a 3-day retreat. Science now proves that a magical 3-day retreat, right? At best, you leave with 4%. That's what you learned, 4%. Okay. And because of the peptide addiction and conditioning, you're not going to put it in play anyway. Even if you walk across hot coals, it doesn't change anything. It's all bullshit. Okay. Because what they don't show you when they show you films of that is how they herd people into a lobby and they sign up for a mastermind with those people for anywhere from $25,000 to $150,000. It's all a game. Walked across hot goals and then they're into the lobby and they're putting stuff, spending money that they don't have, that they didn't need to spend. It's not a book, our course. It's not a lecture. It's not videos or a phone app. There's a proven way to replace the blocks, and we've done this successfully for 15 years. The Master Key experience is 6 months. Now, I'm not going to kid you. It's going to take work. But 1 week out of your life, 1 week out of your life in these tiny increments, you've got to work this thing every single day. And if you're an instant gratification addict, and that's what the world wants you to be, Americans, number one fear is inconvenience. And you saw it last night on the debate. It's inconvenience. You know, one of them is all negative and the other one is serving up platitudes. What are they doing? They're playing you. They're playing you, okay, for power. And you'll be able to walk away from all that, not resentfully, not rebelliously, but it's time for you to live your life. And if you're about instant gratification, and that's what that's all about, if you really listen to what they're saying, it's all about fear and hope, but there's actually this is how you become successful, Tina. Okay? Anybody that thinks they're going to get taken care of by the government, you probably should jump off now. Anybody that doesn't understand what I'm saying, I'm going to repeat it again. Everything you need, there's a creative genius in you. And when you stop picking goals from the conditioning you've had and you find your heart's desire and you unleash that creative genius on it, forget about it. You don't need that stuff anymore, and it doesn't bother you. It's a joke. It's a joke. Over 3,300 have beat the block since 2010. The Master Key experience, you need to understand that the world within creates the world without. Your life is a printout of what you really believe, not what you say believe, not what you think you believe, not what you tell your friends believe. It's a printout. This is the great quote-unquote secret all the illuminated ones have been messaging all the way back to the Buddha. We're going to take a deep dive into the Master Key system and, the book that Hill appropriated from. In other words, Hill actually tried to steal Hanel's material. And he's more famous, but he left a lot of stuff out. Okay. He was kind of a scoundrel. Not a bad book, but he was kind of a scoundrel, and you'll find that out. 6 months of learning and applying the Master Key system, you'll learn how to leverage the theta state. Remember the science video I showed you, it talked about in the first 7 years, 6 or 7 years, you're in the theta state. Our proprietary methods take about 10 or 20 minutes to set up, and then all day long, you're hitting yourself in the theta state. Okay, influencing your subconscious mind. We have created innovative and proprietary methods to influence the subconscious mind faster and easier. So let's talk about the dollar and the paid forward scholarships. I was sitting in the movie and watched with Davine and saw this movie called Pay It Forward. I don't know if anybody remember that, but that's where I got the idea. Okay. There's Emerson's Law of Compensation. Many people, and I'm among them, believe it's the greatest essay ever written. It certainly deserves consideration. It gets down to 4 words: give more, get more. Give more hate, get more hate. Give more love, get more love. Give more joy, get more joy. Give more money, get more money. Okay. Emerson's Law of Compensation. And so it triggered it. So this is a mastermind alliance. And what happens is you guys pay the dollar, you apply for a scholarship, and you work with us for 4 or 5 weeks. Okay. Then you vote as a group, just the new members. If the group decides it should be sold in the future, do you pay? No, your tuition's already covered. If the group decides to pay it forward, you also set the minimum. Let's call it me and Davine going out 3 times a week for a couple of lattes. And you pay it forward for 28 weeks like the previous members had. And if you decide you don't want to do that, we bless each other, we love each other, and we release each other. It's not a big deal. So you're under no obligation. Okay. Yes, hardships stick if they do the work. No one's eliminated over finances on the PIF because you guys set the minimum. There's 5 weeks to plan ahead and then 4 PIF periods after that, right? Previous members understood they weren't paying for the course. They were paying it forward for strangers, which is why they have gone on to prosper. Year after year after year. Julie Hoffman took this back in 13. She's the girl that's done over 100 million in deals. Okay. And again, we're not making any promises about money. Right. What I'm saying is that everybody knows if you improve personally, you'll improve professionally. You don't get better professionally and improve personally. That's the backwards world that they have you thinking. When I get to this pin level at my network marketing company, I'm going to be a better dad. Good luck with that. That's a pipe dream. Want to be a better dad? Start today. Go play catch with your son. Okay. Anyway, and no one, regardless of finances, can have access. We want to bring this to 30,000 people and continuing to drop the PIF. Okay. The ultra cool thing is the ripple effect that you begin to have has no logical conclusion. Yes, most people contributed far over the minimum. No one knows, even the staff or the guides. So everyone gets our best. We don't know what the PIFs are. Okay. So you get our best. Everybody is treated as an individual here. So cracking the cement, reclaiming that golden child, that creative genius that's within you. I hope you're picking up what the 4 of us are laying down here today. Dave Boswell, the fabulous Davine, my wife, and Lori Enrico, my co-author in the 7 Laws of the Mind. Conditioning set your behaviors up, but it also set your values and goals and what the world thinks you should think is important. Thought habits were installed before age 7. It's not your fault. It's not your fault, Bernard, but it's your responsibility if you want to make a change. Okay. And you'll find your heart's desire in the course and break through the bonds of conditionings. And you see our little now, instead of stuff being poured in, we're drawing that creative genius out of you. We're drawing your heart's desire out of you. And you become self-directed, no longer a byproduct of the machine. And you'll manifest your purpose and create new dreams. Who are you? You know, Socrates said, know thyself. So unit color code, if you haven't taken it already, it'll find your core motive. You're now people like Sheila. Sheila, you're now choosing your heart's desire from your core motive. Okay. You're not a quitter. If you've quit on goals before, you're not a quitter. That's the Quincy Jones thing. You decided not to do it. You didn't quit. And the reason you decided not to do it, there was something inside you that you knew wasn't going to make you happy anyway. But they want to make you feel like a failure. You get live hands-on support. Additional benefit of color code is improved communication with all your relationships, not just help you in the course. You're with your wife, with your husband, with your kids, with your coworkers. Okay. Our certified guides have all been through color code training, so they're going to communicate with you one-on-one, Sheila. Okay. And they'll be able to talk in a language that you understand. And this isn't about becoming like me or Davine. You know, we don't want you quoting us. We want to quote you. Okay. We believe the best influence in self-discovery is no influence. If we try to influence you about what to think, that's just more cement. That's just my opinion. You'll discover how to influence your subconscious mind and how to effortlessly replace unconscious self-sabotaging programs with positive self-worth building programs. Again, real consistent effort is the shortcut. This is a daily thing. Okay, you're going back to school, not to learn so much as you are to unlearn, because everything you need is already in you. You saw it in the Golden Buddha. You already know what to do. Take English setters. This is my 5th English setter. The AKC, American Kennel Club, says their temperament is unsurpassed. They're absolute sweethearts. They are the dumbest dog on the planet. No question about it. But if you take a female that's never seen another female throw a litter, they have litters of about 8 to 12 puppies, and they are perfect mothers. They're amazing mothers. Do you think that your creator gave you a little more than an English setter? How could he not? Think about it, okay? So we're going to use our proprietary methods and systems with shapes and colors, the 7 ways people learn. I'm an education major, so that all day long you're pulling PTs, those are called psychological triggers, to implant a new blueprint, not one that I think you should have, but one that you design yourself in the course all day long and then into the theta state at night. You're going to teach you how to turn this stimulus response, with subby making all the decisions, into this for anything, stimulus different choice response. See, here's the thing. Everybody will tell you, oh, come see me and I'll show you how to insert response between, choice between stimulus and response. That is false. The subconscious is still going to make all the decisions. Are we doomed? No, because of the Master Key Experiences mind tools and methods reprogramming the subby. Jerry, the subby is still going to be calling the shots. Bernard, the subby is still going to be calling the shots, but you're going to set the criteria. You're going to set the programs, and you'll replace self-sabotaging programs with joyful, productive experiences. Our advanced proven methods help you develop an intimate relationship with the future you. This changes the game because you're no longer dumping things on a great friend. You wouldn't do that. Procrastination disappears, and what vanishes alters your life, like it has for over 4,000 people. When you do this and learn the happiness formula, you become, rather than a self-conscious, fearful of making mistakes personality, into a dynamic, curious discoverer. No longer worried. I know it sounds great. The question is how. There's a clear distinction between coaching, self-help, and self-discovery. Again, the best influence is no influence. The guides have been trained not to influence you, okay? This is your journey, a way to your truth. Within you is everything you need to change your world. Gandhi said, you must become the change that you seek. It's not outside, it's already in you. It's about unlearning, okay? Finding and following your bliss, experiencing your truth, because once you do, you'll unconsciously take action steps that match that truth. Remember the cement Buddha, self-help is just more cement. Motivational speakers, more cement. Do we really want to be a copy of a copy? Harry's success to success, or how AI is going to change your life. AI has some great uses, but you know what's happening? Even more of our imagination is disappearing. This is a sin. This is what distinguishes us, this massive frontal lobe that we have, okay? This is the hero's journey. You're an original. You were made by the best for the best, made first class by first class. What you need is in you already. You have to step into the unknown. Wisdom is found in the world of uncertainty. You do need helpers and mentors to a certain point, and if you don't think of yourself as a hero, rethink that. Joseph Campbell wrote about the hero's journey. It's the story inside every story, every movie, every book, every metaphor in the Bible has the same story in it, including green eggs and ham and a little train that could. Maya Angelou said, any person who tries to improve their world has courage, and therefore they are a hero. So there's no charge for the guides. There's no tipping allowed. They're going to be your helpers and mentors. They're going to use your profile. Then you need to engage as a self-action course, and inch by inch, day by day, you'll improve. We're going to encourage you to sit and think every day. and understand the exercises. So they will not do the work for you, the guides. They will not influence you about what to think. It's your journey. It's your discovery. And what happens and why we want this is I want Stephanie to feel I did it. Not, oh, Mark is so great. That's not what we want. Okay. Because the best thing for my business is people like Stephanie. My life is so awesome. I did it. I went through it. I did the work. What did you do? And she's going to tell them about it. This is a program of attraction, not promotion. You'll find your truth and your actions will match that truth effortlessly and unconsciously because you're now living in your bliss. How does it happen? Well, weekly you get a Master Key lesson. Hanel's book, The Master Key System, was meant to be read one chapter for a week at a time. So there's 24 lessons. The course is 26 weeks long. We have a couple of holidays. You get a live session weekly covering Hanel's Master Key System lesson. You get the outline for the session so you don't have to make notes like crazy. Some of you went through the vision workshop. You know our outlines are phenomenal. Davine showed Lori how to do it, and she's made it even better. You get a set of directions weekly, what your assignments are. You get a weekly video that explains it. You get touches from your personal guide, and you're going to be in a small tribe. Say we have some 400 people in the course. Well, I don't want Alexandria to get lost in there. I don't want Daniel to get lost in there. I don't want Ginny to feel like she's just one of a big herd. So the guides only work with about 4, 5, 6 people. And they meet usually a couple of times a month in a mini, little 20-minute thing, just so you feel heard. And so you get one-on-one from a guide, and you also have a tribe that's supporting your dream and your purpose. When's the last time that happened? You get 2 real mastermind alliances. No one makes it without a mastermind. That's just the way it is. That's Napoleon Hill. That was his big discovery, actually. In addition to the hands-on help from a guide for 6 months, who's also your accountability partner, you're part of a true mastermind. Remember, a mastermind alliance is 2 or more people working in perfect harmony for definite and major purpose. So getting a scholarship is one thing. Staying in harmony is how you maintain the scholarship. So you're part of a true big mastermind alliance, a tribe, and a pod. So that individual attention is there for you. And there it is again. 2 or more people working in harmony for a definite major purpose. Whose definite major purpose? Ginny, yours. Whose definite major purpose? Gisela, yours. Your definite major purpose. This is about you. Okay. We have more support systems. We also use Marco Polo. You can get a free version of that. And this way you're connecting with people in your tribe on Marco Polo, 5, 6, 7 people, and you're exchanging ideas and thoughts in there. This fosters a mastermind within your pod. And the guides and the staff helping you track your progress and assignments and instantly connect in our members area. We're going to set you up with a blog. All you got to do is write it. Okay. And this is your journey. And everybody, oh, you have to write a blog. Don't worry about it. We're going to teach you how to do it. And it's really amazing. You can go back and read hundreds of these blogs and see what happened to these people over 26 weeks. And everybody says that they hated the idea of even thinking about doing it. And now it's a treasure to them. They printed it off and they can see what's happened to them over 6 months. Just tiny incremental improvements day by day. You also get speed reading lessons. Okay. Again, I'm an English and education major. Nobody knows this, but when you get sleepy when you're reading, it's because your brain is bored. The faster you read, the more you retain. The minimum you'll read faster is 30%. Most people run 100 and 150% faster. This was the passion of one of our guides, okay? So you get all these blockbusters. I'm not going to go through all this thing. This has been valued at around $13,000, okay? I mean, think about having a personal coach for 6 months. What would that cost you? Well, some of these people online, they're going to tell you it's $60,000, and some poor suckers are actually going to pay it. But anyway, oh, by the way, if anybody wants to give me that, I'll be happy to take it. I'm just kidding. But anyway, you get all this for $1 because of the heartfelt generosity of previous members who voluntarily decided to pay it forward for you. That's the ultimate testimonial, okay? So what's the catch? Well, we can't afford to do it. It's because previous members paid it forward. We can't do it all for $1. So what are the rules here? Well, the 80% rule, you're expected to be on 80% of the reward. We call the 2-hour webcast a reward. Okay. It's like a college course, and you will be in educational cultural shock initially. We get that. But that's what we're here to do, is to encourage you. It's just because you've been fed, it's just like, again, I'll go back to the dog. If I put my dog up in the canyon here, he'd die in a couple of days. Dogs are still puppies when they're 10, 11, 12 years old, because what? We feed them, we take care of them, we house them. Okay. I'm telling you that you probably haven't, like, I know one guy that has Mike Farkas. That guy's a machine, man. He's a vociferous student. But basically you'll learn that you have the capacity to learn faster than kids. And people after the first few weeks are saying faster, more, faster, more. Okay. It's going to feel a little overwhelming at first, but that's just because you've been suckered into an instant gratification word. We know that some people, the times aren't going to work or so forth. We do record them on the scholarship application. You can ask for an exception, and we record them. And what you need to do is an honor requirement is watch it within 2 days and fill out the survey. Now, the survey isn't a hard quiz, Sheila. We're not quizzing you to make sure you watched it, but you need to have watched the thing to answer we ask questions so that we can improve. So a majority of the world, I'm quoting the Master Key System, lives in the world without. Few have found the world within, yet it's the world within that makes the world without. It is therefore creative, and everything which you find in your world without was created by you in the world within. Now, that might sound like bad news if parts of your life suck, but get past the surface. It means you're creative. You created that. You just need to teach your mind how to create positive things rather than repeat the same patterns. We're so funny. Not having the time to do this is a creation of the world within. I don't have an hour a day. I'm too busy defending a life that I don't like, supporting a life that I don't like. That was me. Hanel writes, the system will bring you to a realization of power. That's that creative genius that's in you, which will be yours once you understand this relation between the world without and the world within. The world within is cause, the world without is effect. To change the effect, you have to change the cause, and that takes work. Patsy Clark Peters, she was in her 60s, and she went through the Master Key thing, went on and had a remarkably successful real estate career after that. She said, what? Give up a whole week of my life for this experience? Okay, I'll do that. It's in tiny increments, okay? And there's Don Anderson again. 8 kids. What's your excuse? 8 kids while building an MLM. What's your excuse, okay? So get the application done today. If you paid the $1, you don't have a scholarship. You got to fill out the application. Listen to your heart. I paid my buck and I don't know what to do next. You should have login credentials to our members area. Some ISPs, particularly Gmail, they decide where your mail is going for you. Again, there we are, treating us like we're puppies, deciding what's best for us, where things go for us, and all under the auspice of convenience. So you go to trainingsolutionsllc.info. Lori will put that in there, and hit lost password and use the email that you registered with. And so that's all there is to it. I want to advise you to hurry up and slow down. Unfortunately, hurry up and get that application process going. Okay. But slow down while you're doing the process. Number one and most common mistake is people put in the wrong email. Heck, I do it all the time. I reverse the Z and the E when I'm typing it out. I don't know why. Okay. And if you type it in wrong, we can't contact you too. Complete the list before filling out the application. People are reporting it takes about 40 minutes to fill out the application to get a $13,000 benefit that somebody else paid for. Oh, what an inconvenience. Why do I have to fill this out? Okay. Obviously not meant for the course. Okay. And then the third biggest mistake is people fill out the application but fail to submit it. Okay. It's down at the bottom. It tells you at the beginning to make sure you hit submit down at the bottom. Okay. So the bottom line, all these years later, this is the new book I'm writing with Lori. All these years later, I now know year after year, there will be people who use time as an excuse to deny their greatness and those who utilize time to evolve their greatness. Let's go get your greatness. That's out of my new book that Lori and I are working on together called Taking Charge, Ending the Self-Help Hustle and Heartache. The self-help industry is a $12 billion industry in the United States with zero quantifiable results. We're the only company in the world that has quantifiable results, and I've given it to you. 98% of the people were happier last year, found fulfillment, and are more confident. What's that worth? Okay, so we'll open this up if anybody's got any questions, and Lori can drop that in there. If you want to go direct to the dollar page, if you haven't done it, and pay the dollar and get into the membership, that's fine. If anybody's got any questions, we're here for you. Just have to raise your hand or pipe up.
When is the course? Like, when are the classes and stuff?
When? Did you say when, Amy?
Yeah.
What time zone are you in?
Mountain.
Mountain time. So mountain time would be
4 o'clock.
it's 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central, 2 o'clock Mountain.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah. On what day?
Sundays.
What days?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Great call, Mark.
Hi, Chantel. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Where can I find this recording?
You can find all this information at a little slower pace on 2 videos at mkmmacourse.com. And
Okay.
we will also get a recording up and get it emailed out to you. Okay. If you're on the list. Have you opted in at mkmmacourse.com?
Not yet.
Okay.
I will for sure.
Yeah, we got to have a way to get in touch with you. Okay. So
Okay.
I
want to engage in that process, even if I am a French Canadian, so my English is not perfect. I don't know if you have some people that they will help in many groups. If do you have someone who speak French?
We have a French speaking guide, Luc Griffin, and he lives in Belgium actually. So yes, we do have a French speaking guide. And we also have a Spanish speaking guide.
Okay. What is the way that I can express that it can be easier for me if I have that guide?
Just put it in on the application.
Okay. Okay.
There's a space for you to add additional things. There's plenty of places where you can write in there. And you know, it takes a few minutes to fill that thing out. But we want that information so we can be of service to you. Absolutely.
Okay. And I am already engaged in the standing tall, and I use a Gmail email, but do I have to use the same email?
Yes.
The same one.
Yes.
It's easier. Okay, because sometimes I'm all mixed up in the bunch. I am overwhelmed with all the email that I received from you, because vision, standing tall, color code.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Well, you know, you'll figure it out. And a lot of times Lori in the first line or two will say, if you've already done this, just ignore this email. We understand. But it is an effective way to communicate and get people the links that they need. So, but we'll get it thinned out for you. Okay, fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything we can help them with? Sheila, how can I help you?
Okay, I saw a video someplace, and I have to find it again. I think it's about 3 hours long, and it said it would help you, and they ask you to bring with you to listen to that 3-hour video, a novel and kind of a help book or instructional book. So I'm just curious as to what that video is about.
That video will help you do three things, okay? Read faster, retain more, okay? And most importantly, cut the amount of time. And there's not a lot of reading in this thing. I don't want you to think that there's a lot of reading. But if you read 3 pages in 2 minutes versus 3 pages in 15 minutes, day in and day out, you learn faster and the workload seems to shrink. Okay. And it's not really shrinking. What's actually happening is you're actually learning faster. And so when you go back and read it the third day, the fourth a day, and so forth, you're actually starting to assimilate the material rather than reading words. See, we're all taught to read the wrong way. We go to school and we learn the alphabet, and then they put little groups together, TH, PH, right? And so when we're reading, we are still reading the 5 letters in a word and then identifying the word, 5 letters. This will teach you, and oddly enough, you've been probably driven down the road sometimes at 70 miles an hour, and you look up and you see a billboard and you read the whole thing instantly. Right? So this will teach you how to read. As you read faster, your comprehension goes up. And then because you're going to read, let's say, lesson 1, a lesson 2, lesson 3 every week, you read the same lesson every day for a week. Now, these lessons are only 3.5 pages. Okay. And it's large type. We put it in large type for people like me. Anyway, and so when you're reading faster, the second, third, fourth day, you're getting more and more ahas and awarenesses, and you're understanding the material rather than reading the words. So it just helps you read faster. And I wouldn't be in there if I didn't know how powerful it was. It altered my college career. I went to an Evelyn Wood speed reading thing, and I got kicked out of the math department because I just couldn't make 8 o'clock classes. I just couldn't do it. Right? Very immature. And I was out partying with people like Stephanie all the time. That's why I couldn't make it. But anyway, and so now in each course I had, we had to read a book a week for each course. And I was overwhelmed. So I went to this Holiday Inn and got this Evelyn Wood speed reading thing. And all of a sudden, man, I was enjoying reading and I wasn't falling asleep and I was learning. And so that stayed with me. And as I took higher education courses, I started to understand why. So you'll enjoy a lot more things in your life. And
well, that's good because I have never read a novel. I had to look it up and then I had to ask my housemate, okay, I know you're a reader. And she's taken that course before, Evelyn Woods. And I said, okay, find me a little novel. And she did. And I have instructional books. So
if you got your copy of The Greatest Salesman in the World, it's fine to bring that. You're only going to use a few pages of it. It doesn't really matter.
I do have that.
Yeah, so
I've got those
just go with that because you're going to read Og Mandino. You're going to read that 3 times a day.
Okay.
To be able to buzz through that in a couple of minutes and actually have it impact you versus reading one letter, one word at a time. It changes everything. Yeah, you're gonna be able to teach yourself a lot here. Thank you. Great question.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Elena Lopez, how can I help you? Ask you to unmute. You got to unmute, Elena. Anybody else have any questions while she's looking for that?
Did you answer Parish? I'm in South Africa. Time difference could be a small issue. How would things work? Have you answered that?
No. Why don't you answer that, honey?
We record all the webinars and we post them generally within 24 hours. So you can watch it on Monday morning. So you just go hit the replay if you have a time zone issue or a work issue or a church issue or you work at a food bank or whatever it happens to be that Sunday's an issue. You just put that in the application, what the challenge is, and then we give you the honor requirement of going and being able to watch the replay and still do the work. And when you log into your members area, they'll be under the heading of webinar replays.
Right.
Go ahead and write that down.
Chantel again. You have to unmute, hon.
Okay, okay. Since I am a French Canadian, is it better? And I can read English and I can speak it well, but not perfectly. But is it better for me to try to find the book in French, or it's better to buy it in English? And because maybe you can refer to some page, and in French and English, it's not going to be the same spot in the book, or what?
You're talking about The Greatest Salesman?
I don't know yet exactly which book I have to buy, but
Yeah, you're gonna buy The Greatest Salesman in the World. If you want to buy it in French, that's fine.
okay. But
Don't worry about the pages. We don't refer to pages on there. We refer to scrolls. There's 10 scrolls in there, and there are a couple of pages, 2-3 pages. Don't worry about it. That'd be fine to do that.
Okay, so
Okay.
is it the book that you refer? Is it the Ogmendino books?
Ogmandino, Greatest Salesman
Okay.
in the World. Yep.
Yeah, okay. So I can buy it in French. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Mark. Mark, it's Elena.
Hi, Elena. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Not bad for an old fella. I'm alive and taking nourishment, and I'm looking at a banana tree. I'm looking at an orange tree, and the sun. So good day.
Well, aloha.
That's a
I just
lemon
wanted to
tree,
com-
honey, not an orange tree.
There's an orange tree out back.
So I want to confirm we're
Oh.
starting on the 29th, and I've been going in every day and taking a look at the different things inside the white box. So I haven't heard back yet. I guess it's the 18th when you're going to let people know
Oh, you mean where the
who's
the-
getting the.
yeah, it's right here. Dave updates it every couple days. You're talking about looking to see if you got a scholarship?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
The
So-
link to that website is on your scholarship helper document for all of you, if you want to go there and see if your application has been accepted.
Yeah.
So it's on your scholarship doc. I'll also put it here in the chat.
Yep,
Oh, perfect.
it's,
Thank you.
It's right here.
All right.
When did you submit the app?
Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, so they take a few days to process. So folks, just to let you know, we're not trying to, I just can't stand all these people that make up some kind of false scarcity thing. You know, all these courses, buy it now, this last chance tonight, and then of course a week
No.
later, we have the second chance and all that stuff. We don't have to create a sense of urgency, but I want to urge you, because as you can see, all these people here have been awarded scholarships, so this is real. But it's right on this page, and like Dave said, it's in the scholarship helper document at the bottom. And
Okay, I'll take a peek.
yep, and I know that you're anxious, and we're anxious for you.
Well, I'm
Okay.
not anxious. I don't want to miss anything.
You're not going to miss. If you got your stuff in, you're not. You got your stuff in. You're not going to miss anything. So
Okay.
I'll drop that in there. Okay, there you go. Okay. Anybody
Thank
else
you.
have anything that we can? How you doing today, Tina Roman? Good. Tina's a tiger, man. She's going after it. Anybody else have anything that we can help them with?
Yes, I have something.
Yeah, what can you do to bring us out here, honey? What are your closing
A
thoughts?
whole bunch of people on a previous call that I did on how to fill out your scholarship. They wanted to know if they could tell people about this. Okay, so the answer is a big Oprah. Yes, tell everybody that you ever met. Yeah, absolutely. We would love for you to share it.
Yeah, so fun to go through this with someone else, and particularly if you get split up. You know, I mean, when we have husbands and wives come in, we have several this year again. We split them up. We don't put them in the same tribe. You know,
You may
you
lose
know,
a few people. You should keep your trap shut there, boy. Let them find out.
yeah, yeah. But and then they have more to share, and they tend not to get in each other's business as much.
All right, I gotta head out.
Okay. All right. Stephanie, you got on mute, hon.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Hello.
Hi.
Is it possible to get some swipe copies so I can post to social media to spread the word?
Yeah.
How would I do that? Email Davine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Email Davine. I'll put it in here. I'll put my email in here for you guys.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, sharing this thing is a big thing. It actually puts you in that flow right away of give more, get more, you know. And we appreciate that because it means you already, this isn't about believe, you know, I hope you get this isn't about believing us, you know. This is about you making a decision based on your life right now. If you wanted to improve, and I know it was about what, about 4 months ago, and it ran for about 6 to 4 months ago. There was a secret Bible verse, and you know, if you just say this Bible verse 5 times a day, your life will prosper beyond your imagination. All that kind of nonsense. That, you know, those are for so people pay $7 for a Bible verse or whatever. It's all nonsense. This just gets down to one thing. And I know Jerry Meeks gets this because I've seen several nods from him. Everything you need is within you, and you got to do some work to get through the cement that's been piled on you. And we'll give you the tools to do that. That's what it gets down to. You have to make a decision. Do I have the life that I want, or do I think that I could do better?
I think I can do better.
Yeah.
I'm going, go back.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Can you unmute? I think it's Gisela. Is that it? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
How can I
Hi.
help you?
I'm a little bit lost on how to register because I couldn't find it on the emails. And when I filled out the application that I paid the $1, I don't know, I just didn't find it. Could you help me with that, or can
You mean
somebody?
find the scholarship process?
Right, to fill out the application.
You did
You
fill out
got
the
it.
application.
Sorry? I
Go ahead,
did it?
Dave.
Mark, what are you talking about?
Gisela, did you submit an application?
No, I filled out the application, went to pay the $1, but I didn't fill out, I don't know if that's the same one to be considered for the scholarship or if
Okay,
there's
okay,
I'm a
when
little
you,
lost there.
okay, when you pay the $1, right?
Right?
I should have this open. Memberships. Okay, so when you
We
pay the,
sent Gisela, we sent you the email. You received it on the 6th of September, and I will resend that to you via my personal email to make sure that you get it. But if you search in your spam for Master Key Experience or your junk for Master Key Experience, you're going to find that email because we did send it to you. And that
Okay.
explains everything, but you'll get it one way or another.
Okay, so you're gonna resend it in case I can't.
Yes, I
find-
am.
Thank you so much. Oh,
Yep.
My pleasure.
perfect.
the other thing is, and maybe Lori can put this in there, you can go to training solutions llc.info. Lori, if you could put that in there, it'd be great. And just put your email in there. Just hit lost password and put your email in there, and it'll resend it to you too. And then once you're inside this, so you've never been in this members area?
No.
Okay. So once you get inside here, this first video, it's only about 5 minutes. Shows you how to it shows you how to navigate the site. Whoop, sorry. This is our members area that you have the login credentials for. And then when you go in there, and then right here, is, you watch
Okay.
this
Okay,
and it'll show you how to, and then here's the scholarship document helper.
okay, perfect.
Okay, and you just work through this, read the whole, do what it says, read the whole thing first, right? So you know what to do. Then go back and complete each step, really simple. I would do all of these steps right here. I would just go to Amazon unless you're anti-Amazon. Just go to Amazon and just order these things. It's probably
Okay.
10, 20 bucks, something like that. Need a couple of
Okay.
binders, some index cards and all that. And then when you finish this stuff, you click this and this will bring you to the application itself. And
Okay,
it'll ask you, did you order your pencils? Did you order the binders and all that stuff? So you don't have to have them, you just have to have ordered them. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Okay, Rosa Fuentes. Can you unmute,
Yeah,
Rosa?
hi, yes, I'm on mute. Yeah,
Aloha.
hello, hi. I'm kind of in the same situation of the person you were just speaking to. So I've gone, I've registered, I paid the $1, and then it gives me a link, and then I get the link, and then it asks me for the $1. I think I've paid the $1 like 3 times, honestly, because I keep getting in this loop, and I can't figure out how to. Like, I just went to that page where you had the list of the people that had been accepted, and then I tried to start the scholarship application right there, and it was taking me back again to the same place again. So I don't know if what I'm hitting wrong, that I keep
All you have to do is log into the members area.
From where? Because I'm looking at the email, you know, that I don't know, I'm lost. I just keep getting back to the same place where it's asking me to register. I register, asking for the $1, and
Hey, Rosa, you want to send
Yeah.
me an email? I'm going to give you my email address. Send me an email and we'll sort it out.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Rosa, are you in front of a computer? I can't hear you, hon. I think you're muted again.
Sorry, I just have my phone right now.
Okay. All right. If you go to Training Solutions LLC .info, okay?
Yeah.
That will put you at the login page. Just hit lost password and it'll send you new login credentials. You got to log into the members area. Okay.
I've been to the members area, but it's the part about applying for the scholarship where I just seem to get into a loop because anyway, I'll try again.
Just get with Davine. Yeah. Davine's email is in there.
Okay, I see one that says Training Solutions LLC.info. That's Davine.
Yeah, no, Davine's email is in the members area. And you can communicate with us in the members area.
I'm putting my email in here for her. And also, Rosa, I'm just going to send you the link to the application. And then that way you have it.
Thank you.
Can you unmute, Peter? Thank you, Rosa.
Sorry, bye.
You don't have to be sorry. You know, every one of these, we're all in all these different membership sites and blogs and this and that, and everything's a little different, and it does get a little overwhelming.
Can you hear me?
Hello? Yeah.
I was just looking in Amazon for the books where I need to buy 2 copies of it. And there are 2 different ones. And like part 1 and part 2 or so. Which one do I need?
That's a great question. Let me make it really clear for you. Okay. See my screen? Yeah. Okay. This is the one you want right here.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's the one you want.
Let me just make a screenshot. Okay,
Okay,
thanks.
all right. And Peter, I'm gonna drop that in there for you.
Oh, great.
Okay. There you go. That should bring you right there. Save you some time.
Good.
Thank you so much. Great question. Yeah, it's confusing. You know, part one, part two, blah, blah, blah. I just want the original text. There's 15 million of them in print. You'll be able to find two. Okay. That book was actually dedicated to my original trainer, W. Clement Stone. So Og Mandino went to work for W. Clement Stone and moved from salesman to writer. He found that genius within him. Anybody else? Can we help anybody else with anything? All right, so again, my best suggestion is hurry up. Get that scholarship application filled out. Dave's put her email in there and has reprimanded me appropriately for giving you another link. And I deserve it, and I will. I have.
Hey, you guys, before
actual-
Mark finishes, Marky, before you finish, I just want everybody to know if you ask for a password and you don't get it, it's because you got to clear your cookies. If you can't log in and you know your password and you know it's right, you have to clear your cookies. So it's clearing your browser's cache. If you want to search that on the internet, how do I clear my Google, my Chrome browser? How do I clear my Edge browser? How do I clear my Firefox browser? It's a membership site, so it's trying to remember you. So if you're not getting an email and you're not getting in and it's telling you there's no account for you, it's because you got to clear your cookies. Okay.
Okay. So, Dave, you got anything in closing besides that?
I'm just very excited to see all of you here. It's
Yeah.
going to be an amazing year.
Yep, it's going to be phenomenal. Day is runs the whole show. She's the chief operating officer. Day, you got any? She's fighting back.
No, I just really appreciate seeing so many people interested in the class. And I guarantee it's going to blow your mind, and whatever resistance you've been fighting for your whole life is going to turn around and
Master what? It's called the Master Key
months.
Experience. What's that? He said
That was a great share, but it interrupted Day. Go ahead, Day. Day, who is bouncing back. Man, you are doing amazing. I'm so excited.
No, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But yeah, the things that you'll learn in this course they'll carry you through life in the most amazing way so you get the best out of it. So if you haven't spent your dollar and signed up, do it now. Just do it now. Looking forward to seeing you guys in class.
Lori, did you have anything you wanted to share? My
No,
co-author.
I've just been here in the background, you guys. Great job, great questions, and I just echo what Dave just said. I have nothing more to add, Mark, but I'm excited to see you all for sure.
Yeah, we all feel like it, differently. I don't mean to speak for other people's feelings, but this happens for us every year, and the excitement that we feel is like it's like Christmas, like a day or two before Christmas. If you can remember when we were 7, 8 years old, 6 or 7 years old, and you just couldn't wait for it to get there, because the presents that we get is to watch people declare their individuality, reclaim that, and it's really nice because it's like a 6-month unwrapping. And people start having these breakthroughs and these wonderful things that happen. And we appreciate you all being here. Nice to see you, Denise. Thank you, Ginny, for being here. Soleil, Is that like Ole? Anyway. Anyway, thanks for everybody with your questions. And now I have to figure out how to get out of the doghouse again. Have to turn on the old Nixon, John. So anyway, love you guys. Thanks for being here. You're gonna love the experience. Peace be the journey.
Peace out, Cub Scouts. Thanks for being here.